All right, let's dive in. Today, we're basically becoming detectives. We're on a mission to decode some of the quietest, most subtle secrets your body can tell you. Those very first whispers of a potential pregnancy.
You know the feeling, right? That little twinge, that slight pull deep in your abdomen during that long 2-week wait. And your mind just starts racing. What is that? Is my period on its way? Or could this be the very first hello from a new life just beginning? That is the exact mystery we are going to solve together today. The good news is, you don't have to just guess in the dark. Your body is sending out signals, trust me. And by the end of this, you are going to have the key to understand them. We're going to look at the science, the signs, and the one single clue that really separates one from the other.
So, to really get a handle on the signs, we have to understand the incredible journey that causes them in the first place. This all starts way before you could even think about taking a test. Let's trace it right from the very beginning.
It's really like a 4-step biological miracle. First, an egg is released. Simple enough. Then, if it meets a sperm, boom, fertilization happens, and a tiny new embryo is created. This little embryo then travels down the fallopian tube, and about 6 to 12 days later, it reaches its destination, the uterine wall. Now, step 4 is the big one, implantation. That's when the embryo literally burrows in to get nice and cozy, and that is the moment that sends out the very first physical signals we can feel.
Okay, so the embryo is settling in. What does that actually feel like? This is where we get our first real clues. We're talking about 2 very specific signs, a really unique type of pain, and for some women, a little bit of spotting.
So, how in the world do you tell this pain apart from regular cramps? Well, period pain is usually that strong, nagging cramp we all know. Implantation pain, though, is different. It's often described as mild. Some even call it a sweet pain. The feeling is more like a gentle pull, a tiny little prickling, or even a fluttering. It also shows up way earlier, about a week before your period is due, and it typically only lasts for a day or 2 max.
And look, these aren't my words. This is how women who've actually felt it describe it. They talk about this feeling like a tiny butterfly flapping its wings, or a light pull in their lower belly. Could be on the left, the right, or right in the center, just depending on where that little embryo decided to set up shop. It's super subtle, but it's distinct.
Now, along with that feeling, you might see a little bit of spotting. And I mean a little. This is not your period. Implantation bleeding is super light, just a few drops, and it's usually a pink or brownish color, not that bright red you'd normally see. But here's the most important part. Not everyone gets this. It's estimated only about 1/3 of women do. So if you don't see any spotting, it means absolutely nothing. It's not a bad sign at all. So beyond the cramping and spotting, your body starts sending out other signals too. You might feel a little queasy, your moods could be totally all over the place, or your breasts might feel sore. Your body temperature can even go up a bit, and your sense of smell might suddenly feel like a superpower. But this is where our little mystery gets a whole lot more complicated. And here it is, the plot twist. The great imposter that makes this whole decoding thing so confusing. Of course, we're talking about PMS. Premenstrual syndrome.
And this is the moment of doubt, isn't it? You think, wait a second, breast tenderness? Yep. Mood swings? Oh yeah. Cramps? Check. So many of these early pregnancy signs are exactly the same as PMS symptoms. So how on earth are you supposed to tell the difference? Is there any way to know for sure?
Yes, there is. Among all of these confusingly similar signs, there is one key that unlocks this whole code. One decisive difference that can give you the clearest answer before you can even take a test.
Here it is, the big secret. Look at the trajectory. Think about the path the symptoms take. PMS symptoms, they build up, they peak, and then, poof, they fade away as your period starts. But if you're pregnant, those symptoms don't fade. They stick around, and they usually get stronger. Why? Because pregnancy hormones like progesterone and HCG are on the rise, and they just keep amplifying those signals day by day. That persistence, that is your single biggest clue.
Okay, so you've listened to your body, you've decoded the clues, and you've noticed the symptoms are sticking around. What's the final step? How do you confirm everything you're suspecting? The ultimate confirmation is, of course, a missed period. Once that happens, if you can wait about a week, that'll give the pregnancy hormones enough time to build up so a home test can give you a really clear, accurate result. All the signs we've talked about are just whispers. A positive test is the loud and clear answer.
So there you have it. You now have the toolkit. You know the timeline, you know the feelings to look for, you know about the PMS imposter, and you know the single biggest giveaway. You've learned how to listen more closely to your body's earliest, quietest messages. The only question left is, what comes next for you on your journey?